What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to everything you need to know regarding FIFA 16 Ultimate Team, career mode, etc, etc. Basically, I've been in Germany for Gamescom over the last week, had a great time there. A little disappointed that I didn't get to actually play FIFA physically, obviously because I have a coin sponsor, which is totally understandable. But I have learned a lot of knowledge about the game, and in terms of gameplay, when I talk about gameplay through this video, that is based on just what I've seen and heard from those who have played the game, not from my own personal experience, as you can imagine. So there's a lot more to Ultimate Team than just to Ultimate Team in this video, but we're going to start off with FUT Draft. The reason why we're going to start with FUT Draft is because obviously it's the newest thing in FIFA. It's the most popular thing that's going to be in FIFA this year, in my opinion, and I don't need to say anything about it in this video because I made a video dedicated to the FUT Draft system. So if you want to watch that video, link will be in the description below. Moving swiftly on, we are talking about gameplay first and foremost. So from what I've heard, what I've understood, passing is very, very different. There's two styles of passing now, using the right bumper to help you pass the ball, and it's very, very, very difficult to know which one to use in the right instance. And from what I've heard again, and from what I've seen for a lot of it, people are if you put the wrong pass in, you lose the ball, you're gonna get countered attacked. It's not necessarily great in my opinion, but what you've got to remember is everything you've seen this week, everything you've heard this week, this game is an old build that they're playing. It was the same last year. Last year we played on a build that was so old, it was actually older than the demo build that was coming out, and it wasn't really anything to actually base the gameplay off. You know, wait until you actually get to play the game before you start figuring out what's right, what's wrong, what's overpowered, what's not overpowered. But there is a point to say that crossing seems to be very strong. Now, there's a reason that they have better testing for FIFA and that they have events like Gamescom, and that's to figure out things that aren't working as they should be. And if EA decide crossing isn't working as it should be, that will be nerfed massively. And if you remember in FIFA 15, about 1 month in, we had a patch that in my opinion ruined the game, or not ruined the game because the game was still good anyway, but kind of like brought the game down a level. You know, they could always play with things early on into the game as well if something isn't completely right. And going on from that, focus does seem to be a lot more on team play this year, about passing and building attacks rather than just giving the ball to someone sprinting either down the wing, through the middle, lobbing chip through walls. It seems to be like a more of a complete game, but again, we're looking at stuff that is potentially months old and not really going to be showing what the true FIFA 16 gameplay is. Next up, pro clubs. I get asked a lot, regardless of me being at Gamescom or not, what's happening to pro clubs. From what I can understand, nothing has changed in pro clubs this year, and that's shocking. For me, it's one of the game modes with the most potential. Unfortunately for pro clubs, minimal amounts of people actually play the game mode these days, which is an issue for EA, and also they can't really monetize off of pro clubs because it doesn't have microtransactions. They're obviously putting microtransactions in, potentially buying boots, kits, stadiums, players, boosts, you know, many things you could buy. I still don't think there are enough players to spend the money to make it worth EA's while. So from what I understand, there is nothing new in pro clubs. Next, we're going to talk about Ultimate Team before we get into career mode. There's nothing really new about head-to-head other than the women, but we already knew about the women. We've seen that at E3 month or so ago. You know, basically the head-to-head system is going to be very, very similar. There's nothing groundbreakingly new there, or if there is, EA haven't spoken about it yet, which would surprise me a little bit because, you know, Gamescom is like the last big, like, hey, here's what we've got. And if they haven't shown us anything with that, then there's probably nothing coming. So, Ultimate Team. Other than the draft mode, there's a few nice little things, like the screens that you're seeing on the screen now. Like, they've done an overhaul of how the game looks, how the game plays. They've obviously put in Legend Chem for Xbox, where Legends link with absolutely every player. Now, if you want to see more on that, again, link will be in the description below to my Legends video. There's a new layout for applying the consumables, which looks pretty nice. It's just gonna make it a little bit easier. One of the best things for me this year is searching for special cards on the transfer market, so you can search for informs, team of the years, etc. That is going to be absolutely great. It saves us having to use a concept squad method just to find a player that we want to find that's not the original gold card. There's a new tag feature which might only be for packs, where if you open a pack you can tag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items at the same time. You can quick sell them, you can list them all on the transfer market at the same time, etc, etc. If that's also for consumables, that would be good. If I can like tag 100 fitness cards at the same time and list them all at the same time, that would be fantastic. Because if you're like me and you hoard consumables but every now and then you want to clean out, you're basically lost, because you can't clean it out because it takes so long to list one item that going through over and over and over again is just really bad. In terms of price ranges, they are most likely going to be in FIFA 16. Now, this isn't actually definite or for sure, but they are most likely going to be in FIFA 16. With that, something that may or may not have changed that I really would love changed is being able to quickly set the maximum buy now to where the minimum buy now is. I don't want to have to keep cycling down, spending seconds, valuable seconds of my life, going down and down and down and down and down to get to the lowest buy now that I want. I want to just be able to instantly go 150 start price, 200 buy now list. I don't want to have to go from 8,000 or 7,000 or 5,000 all the way down. We don't have news on that. It's not what we're here to talk about, really. Going further with Ultimate Team, apart from those few aesthetic changes and foot draft, they haven't really done much with it. You know, obviously you've got the new card look, the new pack look, the new pack animation, but these are all things that, in my opinion, aren't the most important thing. Like, for me, important things would be having like 2v2 online Ultimate Team. So if I'm playing in my house and a nice girl who lives in Washington wants to play with me in my Ultimate Team, he can play through his own console. I want to see that in Ultimate Team. I don't know why it's not in Ultimate Team. It's in head-to-head. They even have lobbies for it in head-to-head. Why don't we have that in Ultimate Team yet? I don't know. There is still no goalkeeping stat tracking. It still calculates goals and assists for goalkeepers rather than clean sheets and saves. I find this whole statistic thing, like stats analysis, to be quite tedious with what they've got. It's not great. Other than that, again, there are no global leaderboards. I still want that. I want to know if I've scored 1,000 goals in Ultimate Team. I want to know where I rank with people that have also played Ultimate Team. I want to know not just season stats. I want to know cup stats, single player stats. I want to know, you know, I love stats. I'm a big stats fan, a big analytics fan, and Ultimate Team FIFA just doesn't offer enough, and there's nothing new coming. It's quite disappointing with what we don't have. There are, of course, 8 new legends. There's been a lot of rumour through Reddit and through a few things on Twitter that trade offers might be coming back and that you can play FIFA 16 right now. Now, what happens is the Canadian and sometimes Australian iOS market gets the beta stages very early so they can test it for the rest of the world. What you've seen from these iOS FIFA 16 gameplay stuff, disregard, because it's not the real game. It's the iOS version. It's a massively different version. You guys know that they had million coin packs and stuff on there recently for FIFA 15. It's not the same. I don't know 100% because you never will until the game actually comes out. But to the best of my knowledge, trade offers will not be back in FIFA 16. Probably for coin reasons, but also because the game's been okay without them. It's a little bit of a ball ache. I would sometimes love to be able to trade offer players, but in general, it's not the end of the world not having trade offers. So, for Ultimate Team, that's pretty much it. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how things work again, how chemistry has changed, because according to EA, it's changed a little bit. So I'd like to find out how that little bit is and what that little bit is. But in general, Ultimate Team plus draft mode plus a few little perks here and there, it's going to be very much identical to last year's Ultimate Team, which is, I don't want to say a shame because I love Ultimate Team and I think the draft mode is going to be fantastic, but I was expecting a little bit more. Hey, maybe I'm just asking for too much in 1 year. Then guys, we go into career mode. So career mode actually seems to have one of the biggest overhauls this year. Unfortunately, there's still no online career mode, which is a shame because that's what would interest me with career mode. There's also still poor stat tracking. Now, I don't really play career mode because I hate playing offline, but I have done a bit of research for this and on this, and you know, like the stats they're basically identical to past years, and that's a shame because it would intrigue me a little bit more, like Football Manager does, where you can click on a player and you can look at everything he has ever done, any season, at any time. On career mode in FIFA, you can't, and it's quite frustrating. There are no storylines either in FIFA 16 Career Mode, which is disappointing if you guys are fans of the NBA franchise, especially what Chris Smoove does. The storylines where you get to select answers and talk to press and talk to your manager and talk to teammates and talk to fans and stuff, that would be fantastic in FIFA, but you can't do it, and it's very disappointing again. However, they have added a lot to Career Mode. So there's new preseason tournaments, which is pretty awesome. There's a new player training model based through the skill games, or you can automate this. But basically, like, you can take a player, you can train him yourself, do the skill game with him, and how good you do in the skill game is how good he'll get the, how much boost he'll get. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's still quite an interesting feature, and definitely something that's interesting in terms of player progression. Very nice indeed. You can now sign free agents outside of the transfer window. After scouting a player, reports are available for an entire calendar year before they expire. Short loans have been increased from 3 to 6 months, and there is now an option to issue 2-year loans. I'm reading this off of my text document of everything I've got here, by the way, which is why I keep looking to the side. When the transfer window is open, the number of high-profile moves by big players has been tuned to better match the number that typically happen in the real world. EA have addressed the values of players to much better match the real world. There's other transfer improvements. There's a global transfer network. We added a detailed tab to the global transfer network screen where the user can filter all the players that are fully scouted. Auto transfer budget, so if you don't have enough money, now you don't have to back out of the player and the bid and go and change it yourself. It will just change it automatically for you. Stuff like that should have really been done already. Season target, there were several complaints about people being fired even if they perform well. We did some tuning to ensure this doesn't happen. And team management, adding extra info for the formations. Right now we can have 3 different types of 4-5-1 formation without any distinction between them. We added some extra info such as wide, false 9, etc. to help differentiate them. So those are the main changes in Career Mode. So for those of you that are big Career Mode fans, that's what you've got to look forward to. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the early release, the beta, and the release date. So the FUT beta starts August 13th in 4 days. Well, when you're watching this, 3 days time. Many of you will be like, what even is that? I don't know what that is. What does that mean? It's basically, you download FIFA 16 and you play it. You play one specific game mode. You either play clubs, career mode, ultimate team, or head-to-head seasons. How you get these beta codes is you would have been emailed them to your Origin that is connected with your FIFA account. So if you're like me and you have many FIFA accounts, check all of your emails and make sure that you don't have one, because if you do have one, you could be playing FIFA 16 as early as Wednesday, which will be absolutely fantastic. It will apparently last for around 10 days, which will take us to, the 23rd of August. Then we've got about a 2-week period where there's nothing to do with FIFA 16, and then the FIFA 16 demo drops either the 9th or the 10th of September. We're going to have the FIFA 16 demo. It's going to have 2 women's teams. It's going to have 8 national teams, a few stadiums, so on and so forth. Then FIFA 16 early access and full release. The early access for US and Canada is September the 22nd, and for UK and Europe and the rest of the world is September the 25th. So just about 6 weeks away now. But the early release is a full 5 days before that. So for US and Canada, it's on the 17th. And for Europe, it's on the 20th. So the 17th is actually just 5 weeks away before the full release, the full early release of FIFA 16 is out. Now, there is now 10 hours of gameplay this year, whereas FIFA 15 had 6 hours of gameplay. You get 10 hours of gameplay if you get the early release, which I think is pretty awesome. But if they can release it early to sell it for people to buy early, why not just release the game early? Why not just give us the game early instead of making us pay to only play 10 hours? And why US and Canada first? I don't understand. Just release it to everyone at the same time. Everyone will be happy. There are, of course, 3 editions of FIFA: the Standard Edition, the Deluxe Edition, and the Super Deluxe Edition. Now, the Standard Edition, you get 15 Ultimate Team packs, 1 a week, every week until they're done. That's the 7.5k packs, I do believe. It might be the 5k packs. I think it is the 5k packs, actually. And you get 2 new celebrations. The Deluxe Edition is 40 packs, which you get 2 a week. You also get a lone Messi for 5 games and the 2 new celebrations. And the Super Deluxe Edition, which is a digitally exclusive edition of FIFA. So you can't buy this in the shop, you have to buy this online. Gives you 40 jumbo packs Now I don't know, is the gold pack the jump? It is, isn't it? You have a premium gold pack and a jumbo premium gold pack, or is it a gold pack and a premium gold pack? See, this is where I get confused. I don't even know the packs. I think the regular packs are 7.5k, and then you get 40 jumbo packs, which is 15k packs, and that's one a week. You also get a lone Messi, a lone Aguero, and a lone Courtois for 5 games each, plus the 2 new celebrations. And that, guys, is absolutely everything I know about FIFA, which means that's everything that you could possibly know about FIFA 16 at this current time. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.